Can everyone take these seats, please? I'd like to call the meeting for June 5th, 2025 to order. Do we have any special intention? Joey? No, say about the mom? Yeah, mom. No, not this meeting. Seeing no special intentions, Councilman Kenny, can you please lead in prayer? Everybody please stand.
Please stand and bow your heads. Lord God, thank you for this day and the opportunity to come together to make impactful decisions for our community and work together for the best of Kenner. Lord, please comfort the families of all the council members, and keep them strong in the coming days. On this day, please give us direction, fortitude, and grace to deal with anything that may lay ahead. May we seek your guidance and work steadfastly in your name. Amen.
Councilman Brannigan, will you please lead us to the pledge?
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
What ring does she wear? Madam Clerk?
Yes, sir. You have a quorum this evening. In accordance with Council Resolution Number B14. One second. In accordance with Council Resolution Number B14550, please be advised that all cellular telephones and other devices of this nature must be deactivated or silenced throughout the council meeting. Mr. Chairman, I've received a request to change the order of business to take item 19A at the beginning of the meeting. I have a motion by Councilmember Lahat, seconded by Councilmember McKinney, to change the order of business to take item 19A. All council members in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, please say nay. Seeing none, motion passes 7-0 to change your order of business. Item 19A is the reconsideration of ordinance number 12,813, an ordinance adopting the operating budget for the City of Kenner for the fiscal year beginning July 1st, 2025 and ending June 30th, 2026, adopted by the Kenner City Council on May 23rd, 2025. I have a motion by Councilmember Lahat, seconded by Councilmember McKinney, to put it on the floor for discussion. At this time, this item is automatically on the floor for reconsideration based on the mayor's line item veto. As required by the Kenner Charter, the mayor has provided the following written reason for his line item veto. The clerk will read the mayor's letter into the record. We received a letter from Mayor Glazer on May 27, 2025 that stated 4 reasons for vetoing this piece of legislation. The clerk will read the reasons into the record. Number 1 is to further deplete the city's fund balance. The line items in question call for an additional withdrawals from the city's fund balance. These actions deepen the city's deficit and undermine the financial safeguards we've worked diligently to build. The fund balance is not a discretionary account. It is a critical, excuse me, reserve that protects the city's credit worthiness and operational stability. Item 2, allocate funds for narrow discretionary projects. These appropriations direct funding towards projects that were not part of our strategic capital planning process and do not reflect citywide priorities. Such expenditures resemble pet projects and are not supported by long-term financial analysis or community-wide input. Item 3 is to jeopardize community services and financial ratings. If these funds are removed from reserves, it could necessitate cuts to essential services in order to protect our financial rating. our bond rating. The rating is vital as we pursue additional borrowing for transformative capital improvements, including infrastructure upgrades, fire station enhancements, and eventually the development of a new city hall. Item 4 is reverse hard-earned fiscal progress. This administration, in close partnership with this council, has made tremendous strides in restoring financial discipline and rebuilding public trust. By the council amending the budget ordinance to add Section 4, it signals a return to past unsustainable spending practices that the public has made clear do not support. That's the mayor's reasonings that the clerk has read into the record for the veto. At this point, is there anyone in the audience wishing to address the council on this matter? Please come forward now. Is there any comments from the council members? Seeing none, council members, let me clarify. A yea vote will override the veto and allow the $50,000 to be added to the council capital accounts. A nay vote will not allow $150,000 to be added to the council accounts. So the clerk will pose the question: shall the ordinance pass, the objection of the mayor thereto notwithstanding? We will perform a roll call vote in accordance with the rules, and we will start with Division A. Councilmember McKinney.
Yay.
Councilmember Wilmot. Councilmember Wilmot.
Yay.
Councilmember Dunn.
Yay.
Councilmember Sharwood.
Yay.
Councilmember Lahat.
Yay.
Councilmember Brannigan.
Yay.
Councilmember Brennan.
Nay.
Motion passes 6-1. Councilmember Brennan is opposed. The next item on the agenda is item 19B, the reconsideration of ordinance number 12,814, an ordinance adopting the capital budget for the city of Kenner for the fiscal year beginning July 1st, 2025, and ending June 30th, 2026, adopted by the Kenner City Council on May 23rd, 2025. At this time, I have a motion by Councilmember Lahat, seconded by Councilmember McKinney, for the reconsideration of ordinance number 12,814, an ordinance adopting the capital budget for the city of Kenner for the fiscal year beginning July 1st, 2025, and ending June 30th, 2026. At this time, the clerk will read the mayor's objections into the record as she did for the last ordinance. Give me 1 second. The mayor's reasonings for his veto would be: item 1, to further deplete the city's fund balance. The line items in question call for additional withdrawals from the city's fund balance. These actions deepen the city's deficit and undermine the financial safeguards we've worked diligently to build. The fund balance is not a discretionary account. It is a critical reserve that protects the city's credit worthiness and operational stability. Item 2 is to allocate funds for narrow discretionary projects. These appropriations direct funding towards projects that were not part of our strategic capital planning process and do not reflect citywide priorities. Such expenditures resemble pet projects and are not supported by long-term financial analysis or community-wide input. Item 3 is jeopardize community services and financial ratings. If these funds are removed from reserves, it could necessitate cuts to essential services in order to protect our financial rating, our bond rating, the rating that is vital as we pursue additional borrowing from transformative capital improvements, including sewer infrastructure upgrades, fire station enhancements, and eventually the development of a new city hall. Item 4 is reserve hard-earned fiscal progress. This administration, in close partnership with this council, has made tremendous strides in restoring financial discipline and rebuilding public trust. By the council amending the budget ordinance to add Section 4, it signals a return to past unsustainable spending practices that the public has made clear do not support. At this time, we will also entertain a yea vote will override the veto and allow the $150,000 to be added to the council capital accounts. A nay vote will not allow the $150,000 to be added to the council capital accounts. We will also have a roll call vote for this in accordance with the rules. So the clerk will pose the question, shall the ordinance pass? The objection of the mayor thereto notwithstanding. Councilmember Wilmot? Yay. Councilmember Dunn?
Yay.
Councilmember Sharwood?
Yay.
Councilmember Lahat?
Yay.
Councilmember Brannigan?
Yay.
Councilmember Brennan?
Nay.
Councilmember McKinney?
Yay.
Motion passes 6-1 to override the mayor's veto. Next, we have correspondence, reports from the mayor, CAO, or department heads. Mayor Glazer?
I'll be brief. We just did Flying Dollies just had their ribbon cutting with representatives from this council and JEDCO. So if you want some ice cream and snowballs, it's right here in Rivertown. Tomorrow at 1:30 p.m. in District 1, the AP Clay Splash Park will have a ribbon cutting and grand opening there. We know it opened, last week, but the weather was horrible, so we pushed it back till tomorrow. And also, on behalf of Jefferson Parish, they're holding a hazardous household material collection Saturday, June 7th from 9 a.m. to 12 p.m. at the Ilario Center, 2000 Signet Boulevard. I think we have a link on our website to their website that shows what they're accepting and what they're not accepting. And that's it for me today.
Seeing none, under the consent agenda, we have item 1, approval of minutes, the regular council meeting of May 23rd, 2025. Item 2 is approval of alcoholic beverage permit applications. We have none. Item 3 is approval of bingo and public gathering applications. Item 3A is application number 2464-25, First Baptist Church of Kenner to hold a public gathering on June 17th through the 19th of 2025 from 8 a.m. to 4 p.m. for the purpose of a vacation Bible school at 1313 Clay Street in Kenner, Louisiana. Item 3B is application number 2465-25, the New Orleans Track Club to hold a public gathering on June 24, 2025 from 6:30 p.m. to 8:30 p.m. for the purpose of a Kenner Summer Series at Coconut Beach Volleyball Complex at 100 Coconut Beach Court, Kenner, Louisiana. I have a motion by Councilmember Sharwood, seconded by Councilmember Lahat. For the consent, all council members in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, please say nay. Seeing none, motion passes 7-0. Under the public appearance agenda, we have item 8, public hearings and final passage. Item 8A is a public hearing regarding summary ordinance number 13,799. An ordinance authorizing a public hearing and approving the proposed fiscal year 2025 annual action plan of the Community Development Block Grant CDBG program and the Home Investment Partnership Home Program Grant for the Community Development Department. I have a motion by Councilmember Dunn, seconded by Councilmember Wilmot, to open a public hearing. All council members in favor, please say aye. Aye. Opposed, please say nay. Seeing none, motion passes 7-0. Is there anyone in the audience wishing to address the council? Please come forward now.
Hello, Ms. Dewan.
Dewan Jones, Community Development. This is our annual grant for this 2025 year from HUD, and we're asking approval so we can meet our plan to HUD for this year. This year we received $504,335 for our grant. Any questions?
Thank you, Dewan. We appreciate you coming this evening. Have a motion by Councilmember Dunn, seconded by Councilmember Wilmot to close the public hearing. All council members in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, please say nay. Seeing none, motion passes 7-0. I have a motion by Councilmember Dunn, seconded by Councilmember Wilmot for approval. At this time, we've received a request to amend this item. I would like to read the amendment into the record. Under the fiscal year 2025 annual action plan, in the fourth whereas, we will delete $526,089 and insert $504,335 and delete $205,685 and insert $171,669. On the line with the 2025 Community Development Block Grant allocation, we will delete $526,089 and insert $504,335. On the line with General Administration, we will delete $105,217 and insert $100,867. On the line with the total administration cost, we will delete $105,217 and insert $100,867. On the line with youth programs, we will delete $30,000 and insert $26,737. On the line with total CDBG public services, we will delete $78,913 and insert $75,650. On the line with public infrastructure/facility improvements, we will delete $115,959 and insert $101,818. On the line with total CDBG public infrastructure/facility, we will delete $115,959 and insert $101,818. On the line with 2025 home investment partnership allocation, we will delete $205,685 and insert $171,669. On the line with general administration, we will delete $20,568 and insert $17,166. On the line with match requirement, we will delete $46,280 and insert $38,626. On the line with affordable housing activities, we will delete $185,117 and insert $154,503. On the line with total activity plus match, we will delete $231,397 and insert $193,129. I have a motion by Councilmember Dunn, seconded by Councilmember Wilmot on the amendment. Is there any discussion on the amendment as the clerk has read into the record? Councilmember Wilmot?
Yes, if I can I have somebody come up and for the amendment? We just have a lot of changes on this one, and I just wanted some
Yeah.
clarification
We
on
had
it.
to make the changes because our grant amount got cut this year from HUD. Instead of we had 526 last year, I think it got cut by 21,000, and our home funding did also. So we had to make the changes.
So that triggered all
Yes.
these amendments, okay.
Yes, sir.
Just for a little clarification, this was originally submitted with last year's budget.
Yeah.
Due to deadlines required by HUD, and when we received our allocation from HUD,
Yeah.
it fell within a council deadline, so that's why there's so many amendments. We finally got our real numbers.
Okay, thank you all both, thank you.
Okay, thank you.
Any further discussion on the amendment? Seeing none, all council members, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, please say nay. Seeing none, motion passes 7-0. Back to your original motion as amended. Any discussion? All council members in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, please say nay. Seeing none, motion passes 7-0. Item 8B is a public hearing regarding summary ordinance number 13,829, an ordinance amending the 2020-2021 and the 2023-2024 capital budgets to budget the increase in funds received from riverboat fees and to budget the expenditures for councilmanic funds. I have a motion by Councilmember Lahat, seconded by Councilmember Sharwood to open your public hearing. All council members in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, please say nay. Seeing none, motion passes 7-0. We're now in a public hearing. Is there anyone in the audience wishing to come forward and address the council? Please come forward now. Seeing none, I have a motion by Councilmember Lahat, seconded by Councilmember Sharwood to close your public hearing. All council members in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, please say nay. Seeing none, motion passes 7-0. Have a motion by Councilmember Lahat, seconded by Councilmember Sharwood for approval. Councilmember Lahat, would you like to open?
Yes. Elizabeth, if you could just give us a brief, I talked to you this week about this. It's a, what you call it, a true up.
Correct.
And you always explain that term a lot better than any
Yeah.
of us can. If you can do that, I think that would answer a lot of our questions, what
Sure.
this is.
So basically, in order for us to predict revenues, we look at historical information, trends, and things like that. And for so long, the treasure chest was pretty consistent. But obviously, when COVID hit, they had a huge decrease in their numbers. And then with the opening of the land-based casino, now there's an increase. So this is basically truing up what we originally thought we would receive to what we actually received. So y'all are all... from the 2020-2021 budget, only districts 1 through 5, because that's what was in place at that time. And then the money from 2023-2024, all 7 will get a percentage of it.
Okay. Thank you.
You good? Seeing no further discussion, all council members in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, please say nay. Seeing none, motion passes 7-0. Item 8C is a public hearing regarding summary ordinance number 13,830, an ordinance amending the 2024-2025 operating budget to allocate funding to the Civil Service Department. I have a motion by Councilmember Brannigan, seconded by Councilmember Wilmot, to open your public hearing. All council members in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, please say nay. Seeing none, motion passes 7-0. We're now in a public hearing. Is there anyone in the audience wishing to address the council? Please come forward now. Seeing none, I have a motion by Councilmember Brannigan, seconded by Councilmember Wilmot, to close your public hearing. All council members in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, please say nay. Seeing none, motion passes 7-0. I have a motion by Councilmember Brannigan, seconded by Councilmember Wilmot, to approve. Councilmember Wilmot?
Yeah, Ms. Herron, if you could just give us an explanation on this one as well. I see it's
Sure.
24-25.
Yep, so in August of '24, the director of civil service resigned. And so they had a large payout for his sick and annual time. And then the new director wasn't hired until October of that year. So we did have a little bit of cushion that covered that payout because we didn't pay a salary for about 2 months, but it wasn't quite enough. So we're about 6,000 shy. So we are requesting approval to move money. We have the 6,000 in a pay incentive account to move that over to cover the shortfall.
Seeing no further discussion, all council members in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, please say nay. Seeing none, motion passes 7-0. Item 9 is ordinances for the sale, purchase, transfer, lease, and/or alienation of immovable property. We have none. Item 10 is opening of bids. We have none. Item 11 is reclassification of zoning for final passage. We have none. Item 12 is other ordinances for final passage. We have none. Item 13 is resolutions and motions by council members. We have none. Item 14 is items removed from the consent agenda. We have none. Item 15 is acceptance of contracts and similar matters approved by the mayor. Item 15A is summary ordinance number 13,831, an ordinance accepting the lowest responsive bid received from Barco Products LLC to purchase 50 commercial trash receptacles and 50 surface mount hardware kits, including shipping, in accordance with electronic bid 25-3010 in an amount not to exceed $28,947.78 for the General Services Department. I have a motion by Councilmember Dunn, seconded by Councilmember Brennan. Any discussion? Seeing none, all council members in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, please say nay. Seeing none, motion passes 7-0. Item 15B is summary ordinance number 13,832, an ordinance accepting the lowest responsive bid received from Beacon Air Conditioning, Heating, and Refrigeration Incorporated to remove, furnish, and install a new 3-ton heat pump split system at Muspertolino in accordance with electronic bid 25-2167 in an amount not to exceed $10,998 for the General Services Department. Have a motion by Councilmember Brannigan, seconded by Councilmember McKinney. Any discussion? Seeing none, all council members in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, please say nay. Seeing none, motion passes 7-0. Item 15C is summary ordinance number 13,833, an ordinance approving change order number 1, final to the agreement with Pipe Works Plumbing and Demolition, LLC, dated October 23, 2024, regarding the demolition of Kenner City Hall Building and Annex Building B, AE project number 20-22037B, for a new increase of $43,700 to the agreement, resulting in a total agreement amount of $557,030, and add 10 working days, and accepting the project as substantially complete by the Department of General Services. I have a motion by Councilmember Sharwood, seconded by Councilmember Brannigan. Councilmember Wilmot?
Yeah, Mr. Gonzalez, if you will, just tell us why we had the increase.
While Building A was being demolished, it was discovered that there were two separate foundation plans there. Okay, one was much lower than the other one. So I presume that the fire station in all likelihood was built first, but on the account that one foundation plan was different than the other one. So being that one foundation plan was lower than the other one, the contractor had to remove additional concrete and get deeper into the foundation to be able to expose the piles. That generated additional work, in conjunction with the fact that since they had to go lower because of that old foundation, they had to bring more sand to backfill the area. In addition to that, while they were demolishing Building A, they also found it's a sewer septic system that had to be removed as well. So if you take those three components into consideration, that generated a change order of the amount that is specified in the ordinance.
Thank you for that clarification. Excellent, as always. You give great detail. Appreciate you, sir.
Seeing no further discussion, all council members in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, please say nay. Seeing none, motion passes 7-0. Item 15D is summary ordinance number 13,834, an ordinance amending ordinance 12,776 adopted April 10, 2025, to correct an erroneous bid number and an award to Galls LLC. I have a motion by Councilmember Brennan, seconded by Councilmember Dunn. Any discussion?
Say, Chief Norris, this is on the Galls. Can you kind of fill us in what happened? I think it was probably for uniforms and insignia, stuff like that.
Yes, but the uniforms, we had a wrong number in the original legislation. It's just to change the number on it, not to change the legislation that was passed earlier.
Oops.
Yeah, oops.
Fine, thank you, Chief.
All right.
All council members in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, please say nay. Seeing none, motion passes 7-0. Item 15E is summary ordinance number 13,835, an ordinance authorizing the use of state contract number 4400030934 with Applied Concepts Incorporated, doing business as Stalker Radar, to purchase speed enforcement radar equipment and accessories, and in the amount of $28,616 for the Kenner Police Department. I have a motion by Councilmember McKinney, seconded by Councilmember Lahat. Seeing no discussion, all Councilman Wilmot?
If I can, as far as the speed radars, is this the one that the council was working on as well?
Yeah, thank you, Councilman. Yeah, so first, one thing to note, just because in the legislation it says speed enforcement radar equipment, so really to address that real quick,
Sure.
It's not speed enforcement, okay? So just to correct that legislation. So what this is more for informational purposes, right? It doesn't have any enforcement capability, but it is for pretty much for awareness and behavior modification, right? To decrease speeders in the area. It's also on the state contract, but yeah, you are correct. This is something that obviously, thanks to you and the entire council, we feel that this will decrease speeding in the area and obviously make the streets safer for the city of Kenner.
Yeah, so this is the one that's behavior modification. It actually posts how fast you're going and a speed limit sign, and it's on a trailer so it can be moved around as
Correct.
needed.
Yes, sir, correct. So they're portable trailers, there'll be 2 of them. They are fully self-contained. They also have the capability, if we want to in the future, to be upgraded or upfitted with our flock technology, so we'll be able to use those with the flock systems as well in the future if we choose to upgrade them.
And we understand from the chief that that there's been, one of the biggest issues that he's had is speeders throughout the neighborhoods, and hopefully this will correct some of that and modify some of that behavior. Let us know how it works out. Thank you.
Yes, sir. Thanks again. Appreciate
Thank
it.
Councilman Lahat?
Yeah, Councilman Wilmot, was this the one you did to buy the modification things when you called me on it?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so I want to say that was a great idea. I said that's a fantastic idea we did with the council, and thank you for that. I know the police appreciates that, and it's just an example of us working together, to put some brains together to get something done for them. So
Absolutely. Good
hope it
stuff.
helps.
This is good stuff. Thank you.
Thank you, Councilman Wilmot.
Appreciate you. Thank you.
Seeing no further discussion, all council members in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, please say nay. Seeing none, motion passes 7-0. Item 15F is summary ordinance number 13,836. An ordinance approving the use of state contract number 4400020593 with TECO Safety Incorporated to purchase ballistic body armor and accessories in an amount not to exceed $75,000 annually for the Kenner Police Department. I have a motion by Councilmember Brennan, seconded by Councilmember Brannigan. Any discussion?
These are vests right here that you're buying, or was this ballistic armor, body armor?
Thank you, Councilman. So just to clarify that as well, this is our annual state contract. So this is what we annually provide officers with their body armor, ballistic protection, and of course their carriers or whatever accessories they need for those things. So as Chief Conley has spoke many times in the past, with this successful recruitment and retention campaign, we obviously just had a number of officers graduate from the academy, and we're starting a new academy on July 28th. So this is going to be using our existing state contract, which we do every year, to go ahead and provide ballistic armor and protection for those officers. And again, if I could say too, we want to thank Councilman Brennan because he helped fund this project as well. So we want to give thanks to him and the entire council. Thank you.
Super. Ma'am.
Any further discussion? Seeing none, all council members in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, please say nay. Seeing none, motion passes 7-0. Item 15G is summary ordinance number 13,837. An ordinance approving amendment number 11 to the agreement with ASM Global, formerly known as SMG, for management services for the Pontchartrain Convention and Civic Center to extend the agreement through June 30th, 2026. I have a motion by Councilmember Lahat, seconded by Councilmember McKinney. Councilman Sharwood?
Is this amount that we have these people, it's the same, or is there increasing anything for the management?
I believe it was an increase, but it's an increase in a deficit that they anticipate. You just passed it in this upcoming year's budget, which is what will be effective with the next portion of the contract.
Yeah, just saddening that we got the biggest building in Kenner is a loser. We're losing money on it. That's heartbreaking, but it is what it is. Thank you.
All council members in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, please say nay. Seeing none, motion passes 7-0. Item 15H is summary ordinance number 13,838. An ordinance accepting the lowest responsive bid received from All Star Electric Incorporated to provide traffic signal repair services in accordance with sealed bid number 25-6893 in an amount not to exceed $300,000 annually for the Public Works Department. I have a motion by Councilmember Brannigan, seconded by Councilmember Sharwood. All council members in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, please say nay. Seeing none, motion passes 7-0. Item 15I is summary ordinance number 13,839. An ordinance approving amendment number 1 to the agreement with MSMM Engineering LLC dated February 10, 2024 for Vintage Drive eastbound resurfacing improvements, Duncan Canal to Powell Boulevard, state project number H.015561, federal aid Federal Project Number H0115561, adjusting/increasing the fee by $8,477.50 to a total not to exceed amount of $171,333 to perform additional professional services relating to needed roadway improvements immediately east of the Duncan Canal eastbound bridge, and to extend the agreement by 2 years for the Department of Public Works. Have a motion by Councilmember Lahat, seconded by Councilmember McKinney. Any discussion? Seeing none, all council members in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, please say nay. Seeing none, motion passes 7-0. Item 15J is summary ordinance number 13,840. An ordinance approving amendment number 3 to the agreement with Gulf South Engineering and Testing Incorporated dated January 25, 2022 for geotechnical and testing related services on an as-needed basis to increase the not-to-exceed amount by $25,000 and to extend the agreement by 3 years for the Department of Public Works. I have a motion by Councilmember Sharwood, seconded by Councilmember Brennan. Any discussion? Councilmember Sharwood?
Gonzalez, this geotechnical testing is for what?
This is on an as-needed basis contract that can be used by any department within the city. There are miscellaneous line items of work. They can do soil borings, they can do soil testing, they can do all kind of testing requirements that we may need, primarily soil borings, to be able to design the foundation of buildings or roadways. It's on an as-needed basis contract. We add in $25,000. That doesn't necessarily mean that we're going to use the $25,000. We'll use them on an as-needed basis.
Would this be in conjunction with something that Eustis has done in the past on soil samples?
Eustis also can perform similar work. We don't have a contract with Eustis on an as-needed basis for geotechnical and testing services, but we do have one with Gulf South, which is a local company, and they've been doing this type of work for the city for a number of years. All we're doing is adding time to the agreement that will be expiring soon and adding $25,000.
Great, thank you.
All council members in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, please say nay. Seeing none, motion passes 7-0. Item 15K is summary ordinance number 13,841. An ordinance approving amendment number 1 to the agreement with BFM Corporation LLC dated September 30, 2022 for surveying services on an as-needed basis to increase the not-to-exceed amount by $25,000 and to extend the agreement by 3 years for the Department of Public Works. Have a motion by Councilmember McKinney, seconded by Councilmember Sharwood. Any discussion? Seeing none, all council members in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, please say nay. Seeing none, motion passes 7-0. Item 15L is summary ordinance number 13,842. An ordinance accepting the lowest responsive bid received from BLD Services LLC to provide preventative maintenance of existing sanitary and storm sewers, including service laterals on an as-needed basis in accordance with seal bid number 25-6889, and an amount not to exceed $750,000 annually for the Department of Wastewater. Have a motion by Councilmember Wilmot, seconded by Councilmember McKinney. Any discussion? Seeing none, all council members in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, please say nay. Seeing none, motion passes 7-0. Item 15M is summary ordinance number 13,843. An ordinance accepting the quote received from Precision PSI LLC, a sole source provider, to repair the Yeoman's Pump Number 2 at 27th and Salem Sewer Lift Station in the amount of $17,037.44 for the wastewater department. I have a motion by Councilmember Brennan, seconded by Councilmember Dunn. Any discussion? Seeing none, all council members in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, please say nay. Seeing none, motion passes 7-0. Item 15N is summary ordinance number 13,844, an ordinance approving an increase to the not-to-exceed amount established by ordinance 12,593, adopted on June 21st, 2024, for rental of industrial equipment on an as-needed basis with United Rentals North America Incorporated, utilizing state contract number 4400020928 by $100,000 annually for a total not to exceed amount of $500,000 for the Department of Wastewater. I have a motion by Councilmember Brannigan, seconded by Councilmember Brennan. Councilmember Wilmot.
If I can get an explanation as to why we have an increase of 100,000, how we stand now?
Yes, sir. We have the increase, because we've been we rent bypass pumps from our diesel pumps when we're fixing lift station pumps in order to keep the lift stations operational at the plant, also generators. So we had problems with some of the generators, so we want to make sure that the stations have coverage and be able to operate during a thing. This is also used as equipment like backhoes, scissor lifts. It's all different type of equipment, and it's also used by the different departments in the city, not just wastewater, that they can also use it to rent this.
Okay, it's increasing by 100,000 annually, and it says not to exceed 500, so it must have been at 400 before. So
Yes, sir.
why do we need to bump it up? I mean, just,
To cover the generator rental right now, because we're in the process of moving.
Okay.
We have a generator rental because we bought a new generator and getting that hooked up. So
is
that's
that
why.
preparation for storm?
Yes, for storm also. Yes, sir.
Okay, all right. Thank
Because
you.
we did just get, we finally have a generator in working order at Chateau Transfer Station, the one that we got from KPD, and we did purchase a new one at 35th and Ole Miss, a generator for that one. So that will be, is on site, and it's going to be connected because we got to get contractors to do electrical and do that setup. So then
So
those generators.
lots of needs between wastewater and storm preparation, I presume.
Yes, sir.
Thank you. Thank
You're
you.
welcome, sir.
And Ms. Tran, the 40 or so generators that we have in the yard right now, they're too small. You need something larger for this particular station?
Yeah, for those two stations, they have, they need like 350, 500 kilowatt generators. So the ones that we have in the yard are mostly 80, have a, 40, there's a 350, there's 200s, and the permanent ones, they have at the plant, but yes.
Yeah, one's for smaller and bigger ones. Okay, thank you.
Yes, sir.
Councilman Brannigan.
In this deal, we had 400,000 last year. How much did we spend?
So we spent $487,000 because the contract started in June for us, but the state's contract renews in August. So even though y'all approved 400, we prorate that from June to August, and they get
Okay.
that percentage, and then another 400 with the August renewal. So in total, it's like 488,000 basically we've spent.
Okay.
So, yeah, they only have like 4,000 left on the contract, which is why they need the 100.
Okay, thanks, Liz.
Councilman McKinney.
Yes, thank you, Council Clerk. Can you hear me? Liz, I actually just had a question. So we're increasing it to 500,000. Our expenditures were 487. Is that going to give us, is that going to give us enough for the end of the contract?
Yeah, so in August, they'll get another full amount. So it's just from now
Right, but
until.
is 4,000, or, like 13, or however much, is that going to be enough for 2 months?
I think the 104,000 will be enough for the
okay.
2 months, and then in August, they'll get the full 5.
Okay, thank you.
Seeing no further discussion, all council members in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, please say nay. Seeing none, motion passes 7-0. Item 16 is ordinances and resolutions in summary for first reading. Item 16A is an ordinance amending ordinance number 11,062, adopted March 17, 2016, entitled Unified Development Code of the City of Kenner, Louisiana, more particularly amending Section 6.09 Multifamily Residential District to add rear yard setbacks, Section 6.10 Commercial Districts to remove trade service establishments from the permitted uses in the C1 Neighborhood Commercial District, and to remove gas stations from the permitted uses in the C2 General Commercial District, and to make gas stations a conditional use in the C2 General Commercial District. Section 6.11 Industrial districts to add trade service establishments as a permitted use in the SI Special Industrial District, Section 6.13, Rivertown Historic District, RHD, Figure 6-1, Rivertown Historic District to update the district boundary, Section 7.04, required off-street motor vehicle and bicycle parking spaces, Table 7-1, off-street parking requirements to revise the minimum required vehicle spaces for places of worship, Section 11.04, permanent signs to add regulations for window signs, and Section 12.05, yard regulations to exclude uncovered front steps and handicap ramps from setback requirements in certain cases. Item 16B is an ordinance amending ordinance number 11,062 adopted March 17, 2016, entitled Unified Development Code of the City of Kenner, Louisiana, more particularly amending and rezoning Lot 28, Square 8, Hanson City Subdivision, Kenner, Jefferson Parish, Louisiana, as shown on the survey of R.J. Fuselier and Associates, LLC, dated March 3, 2025, from MU Mixed Use to R2 Two-Family Residential, and directing, authorizing, and empowering the planning director for the City of Kenner to alter and amend the official zoning map of the City of Kenner, Louisiana. Item 16C is an ordinance approving an agreement with Digicom Systems Incorporated for maintenance and support for the DigiCourt paperless court system and AMS DigiCourt collection module in an amount not to exceed $34,100 for the clerk of court. Item 16D is an ordinance authorizing the administration to utilize the existing Jefferson Parish contract number 55-21175 with ARCO Company Services Incorporated to provide and install rental generators and various power equipment on an as-needed basis for the General Services Department. Item 16E is an ordinance accepting the lowest responsive bid received from Dickey's Steel LLC to purchase 6 stainless steel pipes and caps in accordance with electronic bid 25-3017 in an amount not to exceed $6,954 for the General Services Department. Item 16F is an ordinance accepting the lowest responsive bid received from Restech for the purchase of 691 watch guard off-point license renewal in accordance with electronic bid 25-3019 in an amount not to exceed $8,139.98 for the Information Technology and Telecommunications Department. Item 16G is an ordinance accepting the lowest responsive bid received from Dan Enterprises Team LLC to supply rope rescue equipment in accordance with electronic bid 25-2168 in an amount not to exceed $18,882.55 for the Kenner Fire Department. Item 16H is an ordinance authorizing a 12-month Policies and Training Solutions Management System subscription service from Lexipol LLC in an amount not to exceed $47,664.83 for the Kenner Fire Department. Item 16I is an ordinance accepting the lowest responsive bid received from Incoyo Creations to purchase screen-printed T-shirts in accordance with electronic bid 25-2171 in an amount not to exceed $6,412.10 for the Kenner Fire Department. Item 16J is an ordinance approving an agreement with Linfield Hunter and Junius Incorporated for professional architectural and engineering services for the design, construction, administration, and supplementary services related to a new emergency operations center and training facility, Phase 1, in an amount not to exceed $2,558,630.29 for the Kenner Police Department. Item 16K is an ordinance ratifying the emergency replacement of pump number 1 at Holly Heights and Saxony Sewer Lift Station by Precision PSI in the amount of $18,987.65 for the Department of Wastewater. Item 16L is an ordinance accepting the lowest responsive bid received from Risk Tree Service LLC to provide emergency tree work post-disaster on an as-needed basis in accordance with seal bid 25-6894 in an amount not to exceed $300,000 annually for the Public Works Department. Item 16M is an ordinance accepting the lowest responsive bid received from Risk Tree Service LLC to provide tree work on East Loyola Drive median in accordance with electronic bid 25-2164 in the amount of $33,645 for Council District 5. Item 16N is an ordinance accepting the lowest responsive bid received from Risk Tree Service LLC to provide tree work on West Loyola Drive median in accordance with electronic bid 25-2165 in the amount of $23,745 for Council District 5. Item 16O is an ordinance accepting the lowest responsive bid received from Retief Oil and Fuel LLC to provide unleaded gasoline and diesel fuel for the City of Kenner in accordance with seal bid 25-6896 in an amount not to exceed $665,000 annually. Item 16P is an ordinance accepting the lowest responsive bid received from Beacon Air Conditioning, Heating, and Refrigeration Incorporated to remove, furnish, and install 2 air-cooled rooftop units at Exhibition Hall in accordance with seal bid 25-6897 in an amount not to exceed $58,498.85 for the General Services Department. Item 16Q is an ordinance approving a grant awarded from the National Recreation and Park Association in association with Musco Lighting for infrastructure at Wentwood Skate Park and an amount not to exceed $120,000 for the Kenner Recreation Department. Item 16R is an ordinance ratifying an emergency demolition of the AP Clay Resource Center located at 200 Decatur Street, Kenner, Louisiana by Pipeworks Demolition in the amount of $59,333 for the Community Development Department. Item 16S is an ordinance accepting the lowest responsive bid received from Command Construction Industries, LLC, by the Louisiana Department of Transportation and Development in the amount of $6,325,244.15 for the Roosevelt Boulevard, West Metairie to West Napoleon Avenue Reconstruction Improvements Project, State Project Number H.015120, Federal Aid Project Number H015120 for the Department of Public Works. Item 16T is an ordinance approving a professional services agreement with Digital Engineering and Imaging Incorporated regarding Roosevelt Boulevard, West Metairie Avenue to West Napoleon Avenue Reconstruction Improvements Project, State Project Number H.015120.6, Federal Aid Project Number H.015120, and an amount not to exceed $705,620 for the Department of Public Works. Item 16U is an ordinance ratifying the proposal for casualty package insurance for the period of July 1st, 2025 through June 30th, 2026. Item 16V is an ordinance ratifying the proposal for excess workers' compensation insurance for the period of July 1st, 2025 through June 30th, 2026. Item 17 is reports from the council and/or special committees. Seeing none. Item 18 is new business. We have none. Item 19 is unfinished business and/or motions to reconsider or remove from the tabled position. These items were taken earlier in the meeting. Item 20 is persons wishing to address the council on special subject matters.
Does everyone like to address the council? Because we might have a first here. We have nobody's name. Does anybody like to? Council members?
I'll make a motion to adjourn.
We have a motion to adjourn. Motion carried.